What's up, guys? Welcome to JP Fitness. As always, I am JP, and thank you for joining me for this special segment of Ask JP featuring Cole. Who do we got here today? This is Cole Netten. You might recognize him from the Gridiron up in Iowa State. Kind of a big deal up there. So, Cole, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. So, Cole, you're Iowa State's kicker. You just finished up your senior year. Why don't you? People obviously recognize you from that aspect of things, and seeing highlights on the news and everything, and watching on Saturdays. Kind of give us a little bit of background of what really got you interested in football. What did your earlier life look like, sports related?
Well, earlier life, I was a huge soccer player. Favorite sport by far. Funny story, I didn't like it one year a lot, and my dad bribed me. He said he'd buy me a PS2 if I went out one more year.
PS2, shout out to PS2.
PS2, classic. And I said, you know what, deal. And then I ended up loving it, played it all through high school, and then that kind of got me in the start of kicking-wise.
Okay.
I think that I kind of found out that I had a strong leg and, decided I was a football player but wasn't necessarily athletic enough to do other positions, so I just kind of stuck with kicking. And then we found Peter Rame here in Ankeny,
Okay.
my kicking coach, and asked him to help me out, and from there the rest is history. So
Wow, just excelled ever since.
yeah, there you go.
So, did you make? When did you become a starter for the Ankeny Hawks? Was that freshman year and on, or when did you kind of?
Yeah, well, it was. I was backup freshman year, and the kicker ahead of me, Zeb Miller, was kicking the year, and then he broke his collarbone in the first game of state. So
Sorry, guy.
yep, I had to come in freshman year and finish the year off. So I kind of played freshman year, kind of didn't start, but ended up seeing the field because of an injury, and then from there played sophomore, junior, and senior as well.
Awesome. So, at what point in your high school career, playing as a athlete, and then just kind of really excelling in your high school career, did you kind of get the feeling that I might definitely be able to play in the next level and going up to college?
I think junior year was the first year that I started to get contacts from schools about coming to college there. So there, I thought I might have a chance if I keep working hard. And then senior year was when I got offered by Iowa State. So I think it all started the junior year. That's kind of when I started to really pick up on talking to different coaches and opportunities and searching for teams who needed kickers. So
Awesome. So you kind of went back into right when you were kicking things off, no pun intended. You got hooked up with your kicking coach, who was here in Ankeny. What sort of training did he have you do that might have been different than what other athletes were going through? Obviously, you were just focusing more on the aspects of the kicking, but what kind of went into starting to get you to develop even more?
yeah, absolutely. Kicking is a lot different than any other position because it's not necessarily all about strength. I'd say it's about 80% form, and then you got to work on your leg speed too. So what we did in high school was we would kick during practice, and then during practice we would go lift.
Okay.
My coach would take us into the weight room, and we'd lift there instead of lifting before practice like
Right.
other people do. And that was just so you didn't have sore legs while you're kicking and develop bad habits that way. And so some of the stuff we did was, squat, and we did a lot of step-ups. Step-ups into a lunge are something that really helped the leg speed and the leg snap when you kick the ball. And then we also did some band-resisted stuff.
Okay.
So we would tie a band to my ankle, and then I would kick with a resisted band on it. So it's kind of like swinging a baseball bat with a donut on it,
Yeah.
And then once you let it go, it's a lot lighter and faster. And then also we did pool exercises. We would swing the leg in the pool and do high knees and stuff like that in the pool just to get more of a resistant. It wasn't squat super heavy, but it was more resistant stuff. So
what's great about that is the different variations that people can go to for getting to there to be that strength in those legs. Like you're probably not off the bat saying, "Hey, I'm a football player. Yeah, I just got my workout and we were in the pool here a little bit ago and I was working on my leg strength." Probably not something you would typically hear all the time.
Exactly.
But definitely, especially what you were training for, like that worked out.
Yeah.
And I really like hearing that. It's interesting. So you accept the offer from Iowa State. You go on up there. It probably didn't take very long, especially once 2-a-days and camp started happening. Maybe even later on into the season, but what was probably the most significant difference going from 4A high school play to now being a Division I football player?
The speed and the intensity of the workouts. It was nothing I've ever gone through before. Definitely a lot harder. We got done with our warm-up, and I thought we were done with our workout. The first day I got up there, so that was pretty intense. And then the speed as far as kicking wise. In high school, I could wait. I could watch the ball. I could wait for my holder to put it on the tee, and then I could kick it. In college, I've got to start before he catches it because, the line's coming so fast, and these guys can jump. So the operation time has to be a lot faster than it was in high school. So those are the two big differences from high school to college, definitely.
What did some of that first workout look like that you thought was more of it was the warm-up but almost felt like the workout? What were they doing? Was it just the overall intensity of that entire deal of like not letting up, the kind of just like holy cow, what is this thing?
It was the warm-up's a bunch of body weight stuff.
Okay.
So push-ups, we did a little bit of 10-pound, 20-pound, I don't know what you call it, but workout stuff. And it wasn't like squatting or benching or anything on a rack or anything like that. But it was like very intense, almost like an Insanity or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And we maxed out the first day. So I think I remember there was one kid who had to sit on the bench because he couldn't see because he was so tired and so sore from the warm up. And then I could barely bench anything from what we were doing. It was
right.
And then we had to start over a couple times because we couldn't hold a lunge.
You don't make it that first time, you might as well start it over again.
Exactly. So we had to end up doing like 40 or 50 push-ups in the first warm-up, and it just wasn't fun.
It was
for sure.
Welcome to Iowa State.
Exactly.
You made the right choice.
Yep.
We're going to push you. Perfect. So, as a high school athlete, was there anything other than the training and working with the coach? Did you also work on any sort of nutrition aspects, or were you just kind of the usual high school kid? I'm eating what I'm wanting. And then what was that looking like once you hit college? Were they saying, okay, here's how much we need you to get in a day? Like, what was nutrition looking like as a D1 athlete?
Yeah, in high school, I definitely ate whatever I wanted to.
Good days.
Yep, and that didn't really matter until my senior year because I played soccer. So usually all that stuff it would just get burnt off. But I didn't play soccer my senior year because of football, and I didn't want to get hurt. So I definitely kept eating what I wanted to, but didn't run or work out, have as much cardio as I would have liked. So I definitely packed on some pounds there that last year. And then going into Iowa State, everything is laid out for you. If you're a heavy guy, we had to eat breakfast all together every day, and they've got a card for you. And you had to go through the line and grab what they put on the card for you. And if you're a light guy, you had to do the same thing. And usually the maintained guys could choose what they want until they get too light or too heavy, and then they'd have to. Yeah, so they've got, and they provide us with a bunch of nutritional stuff like protein shakes all the time. We got bananas, bread, peanut butter, yogurt, stuff like that, waffles, goldfish, whatever. They got a nutritional counter for you too, and all that kind of stuff works out as well. So It was a big change as far as you really needed to focus on what you put in your body in college.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, kind of an interesting thing I talked to when I was up at Iowa State, talking to a couple different strength coaches, was kind of like how you said they have your nutrition lined up. So, what would have been a bad consequence if you were drinking your protein shake that they had given you, and then you went out to GNC or Complete Nutrition and got something that maybe wasn't on the right thing? Would different things show up in some sort of test? Because I know some things may be illegal that can still be bought for someone normally,
Yeah.
but for an athlete that might show up in kind of a test that you would do.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that stuff because all the stuff they have is totally legal.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes, usually protein and that stuff is fine. Definitely. Every once in a while, like very rarely, there could be an accidental ingredient that gets into the protein that would show up on a test. But usually the only thing you need to be worried about is like the pre-workout,
Right.
Especially the brand new pre-workout that a lot of people use, because usually the ones that feel the best and make you work the hardest usually have some illegal ingredients in there.
They got a few things that are going to be on the shelves until it can be
Exactly,
proven otherwise.
exactly.
Get pulled back
Yep.
off.
Once it's proven, it's pulled off. So, yeah, they have Gatorade energy stuff for you. So none of it is really powder. It's more natural, honey energy and stuff like that too. So
interesting. So going into, did you become the starter right away when you came into Iowa State as a freshman, or was there already a guy ahead of you?
I was competing for a job my freshman year, and I didn't win it, so they redshirted me.
Okay.
And then the next year, I was still competing with the same guy because he was a junior, and he won it again. But the first game, he went out and missed 2 field goals in a row, and then they put me in, and I finished off the season. So I played the first game, didn't start, but played the first game of my redshirt freshman year, and then finished my career. So
perfect. So you actually kind of alluded to this on social media here recently. The 2015 season maybe didn't pan out exactly how you were wanting it to, but there was everyone can be a critic. Everyone has their opinion, even when it doesn't relate to them. And I'm sure there was a little bit of heat that got thrown your way. Tell me about how you use that as kind of ammunition going into your final season with the Cyclones here that you just wrapped up.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't the start of a season that I wanted. I think I was maybe 4 for 8, 3 for 7, something like that. And yeah, through that time, I definitely got a lot of opinions and hate on social media. So eventually, I just ignored it, didn't look at it anymore. But I knew that everybody had an opinion, and to me, it wasn't. I wasn't kicking to what I could kick. So that definitely made me want to work hard and just prove people that I'm a better kicker than you think I am, just based on a kick or two that you saw that I didn't make. And so that kind of, I started focusing more on my form and focusing on doing the process correctly instead of worrying about the outcome. Mm-hmm. So instead of saying, I need to make this kick, I would say, this is what you do to kick a football, and then the outcome will come. And kind of take care of itself. Exactly, getting back to the basics. So that was a big thing for me, and it was just a little more focus that I put into it. And the details that come with kicking is really what I tried to perfect in order to be successful. So,
was there anything you did differently in the weight room going into even the off season, or was it more about getting you mentally sound and bringing it back to this is who I am, this is what I've done, let's just go get at it?
Definitely mental. Yeah, the weight room really in college doesn't change. It's all kind of the same stuff. Very intense workouts and things like that. But yeah, it was exactly like you said. Just got to get back to who I was and just do what I do. I've been doing it my entire life, so there's no excuse to.
The roots were deep.
Exactly.
We just had to remember that.
Exactly. You got it.
Perfect. So then transitioning into your final season, and finishing up as a Cyclone, kind of shutting the mouths of the people who can just so easily throw their opinions out there. You finished up with some pretty great records. What were some of the records that you finished as a Cyclone where your name is definitely at the top of the list?
Oh, some of them were, I think, the most points scored by a player. I think best field goal percentage. Maybe like most field goals made. No, I don't know. I don't think it was that one. Most PATs made, and then most field goals made in a row. That's what it was.
In a row.
In a row. That's all right. That's right.
Definitely came back with a vengeance.
Yeah,
and you're gonna make this senior year the best senior year possible.
Right. That's right.
Awesome. So, what advice would you give to a younger athlete, maybe even as specifically as an athlete who is a kicker right now, has seen your success and wants to see if he can take it to the next level, or just a younger athlete in general, junior high, high school, saying, it would be really cool if I could play on that kind of next level. What kind of advice would you give to them as kind of some extra motivation to train hard, even if it's a mentality thing, to get to that spot like you did?
Well, the motivation I'd say would be it's definitely worth it. And it's an experience that I'll never forget. That's been great to me. My best friends have come from the college team. We've went through a lot of stuff together and definitely bonded really well. And then an education is huge as well. To be able to get a free education with that is something I'll be forever grateful for, because I'm helping my wife pay off her student loans, and that sucks, man. I couldn't even imagine. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't even imagine doing two of those. So that's motivation. But I would just say, keep working at it. Don't be lazy. You can always get better. There is no your best.
That's right.
Especially with kicking. I mean, I've kicked. Thousands and thousands, probably even tens of thousands of balls throughout my entire life, and that's the thing. You can always be better.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always somebody out there. Surround yourself with people who are better than you, and that'll motivate you to make you work harder. And I always kick my best when I'm with better competition. Mm-hmm. So do that, work hard, and you'll get where you want to go.
If there's any younger athletes watching, I hope they really held on to what he just said there about surrounding yourself with people who are better than you, people who are going to push you and not necessarily be dragging you down. You're going to go to the top. So, Cole, congratulations on an amazing career.
Thanks you very
much. For giving me a few minutes time and just talking to the people.
Absolutely.
And so this is JP signing off. This has been Ask JP. Featuring Cole, and we're out of here.